I'm joined today by Thomas. He's the master chocolatier from Lindt. And every time I have a chef with a tall hat standing next to me, I think I'm in trouble, because in the kitchens I've been in, it's usually the main guy wears the hat and he controls everything and tells everyone what to do. And that's what you're doing here today, aren't you?
No trouble here. You're the boss.
OK, well, now we're making a chocolate cake, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yes. So we're going to make, it's like a chocolate fondant cake. So it's almost like we want this to be really decadent and rich in texture in the centre. So we're going to put 2 different chocolates in there, and that's really just to balance it. But if you want to do this at home with just 70% excellence, perfect. But this is just the 50% excellence just takes a little bit of that strength away.
Now, I know when the dark chocolate or the 70%, that's got the bitterness to it.
That's right.
And that's the chocolate I get to eat in my house, because I've got sons, and if there's any chocolate, they eat everything. So that's a great way. That's a pro tip for me. If you want to save your chocolate, the bitter one's just beautiful.
I like your sons.
Okay.
Chocolate fans.
Oh, well, everyone loves chocolate.
But that's true. It's like with something like that as well. It's like a square or so, and you get that chocolate fix. So it's really nice, rich and decadent. So all we do is melt the butter. And
that's unsalted butter?
It's unsalted butter, but then I like to add a pinch of salt as well. And then we just let that gently melt. So the heat of the melted butter will melt the chocolate. Okay, so I'll just get onto this with the butter, and I'll get you to whisk up the egg and the sugar. That'd be really great.
And hopefully we'll be putting together a beautiful cake in no time.
Absolutely. Oh, that looks perfect. Well done. Thank you very much.
You gave me the hard job.
Sorry.
Almost worked up a sweat here.
I love to stir chocolate.
Okay.
So there we go. And then what I have to really give this decadent sort of flavour is a bit of caramel. So in that goes.
Yep. Oh, lovely.
Just into the chocolate mixture. And then we don't want to have this too warm. So as soon as the butter and chocolate is melted, take it off the heat, and then we add this to the egg.
With the chocolate and butter, we want to have it at, say, blood temperature.
That's right.
So normal people would maybe use a bain-marie, but because you're an expert, you can just put it straight on the stove.
It's okay. It's like even if you have it warm and you add it to the eggs, like if you put a little bit of that warm mixture into the egg and not all at once, then you can actually sort of temper the sort of eggs as well without them sort of getting cooked, I guess. That's what we're trying to avoid. We don't want a sort of hot chocolate mixture onto there.
Oh,
so we put a little bit of this in to begin with. Then I might just get you to whisk that through again. Just to take the last little bit of energy out of me. That's right. But when I eat this, I'll be packed full of energy. That's right. That looks fantastic, just like that. I could just eat it straight from the bowl. Be good on ice cream, just like that, right? Yeah, yeah. So we're going to put the rest of our chocolate in here. Now, for a cake, there's no flour? We're going to bind it with a little bit of corn flour. So that's the only thing that we're going to have to hold this together and basically sort of help the structure. But really the main structure of the cake will be just chocolate. The chocolate, that's what we like. That's the best thing together. So this is quite unusual. This is going to be really thick and gooey. Really dense, absolutely. I can't wait for this. Can we get it in the oven quickly? Come on. Let's do it. So you're folding it nice and gently through there. We still, all that hard work that you've done with putting the air into the eggs, we sort of want to keep that a little bit as well. Okay. And then last goes in our corn flour. Beautiful. And it's just a matter of folding that through nice and gently. Fold that through and then we're done. It's the easiest cake ever. But the most important thing is we're using really, really good chocolate. That's what gives it the flavour. I actually use Lindt in my restaurants as well. Fantastic. I always have. It's just outstanding. I love eating it myself as well. But when you put it in a cake and cook with it, it makes all the difference. And that's what we're going to have 100%. Here. Like, this is really one of those cakes that you can taste the actual chocolate. And the quality of the chocolate makes all the difference. Now, if I wanted to make this cake without the 70%, so I don't want that bitterness there, I could use different milk chocolate, that sort of thing as well? Even something like a chocolate, we make like a hazelnut excellence as well, so that would be perfect. So the nuts will probably end up settling on the bottom of the cake a little bit, but it's going to be absolutely delicious as well. I reckon this is one of those cakes that once you have once, you're going to want to make every single day. So that's what we want to do. Now this goes into the tin here. We just put that straight in, and then it's one of those cakes. We're actually going to put it into the oven at quite a high temperature. So it goes in for 210 degrees to begin with, and that sort of forms the crust on the outside. And we do that for the first 5 minutes. And then we drop the temperature right down. You've saved that for me, haven't you? We drop the temperature right down? And then just leave it in the oven for an hour to cook. Do you want me to pop this in for you? That'd be great. I can do that. Thomas, that cake looks great. Absolutely. And then that's really a cake that's best when we sort of let it settle in the fridge, even overnight. So then that sort of chocolate centre really...
Do you really think that's going to last overnight? It's impossible.
Ideally.
Ideally, it's a good idea, but in reality, it's never going to last overnight.
Give it a couple of hours and then we're good.
You know what I'm loving about this? This was just a simple cake. You didn't even break a sweat. You just stirred a few things, poured it in, folded it through and into the cake tin, apart from my, whisking.
The chocolate does all the hard work.
Exactly. It's really, really simple.
And then it's probably one of those cakes, it's a bit like a cheesecake with a hot, clean knife.
Yep.
Just take a wedge out of
So
here.
you've got hot water in the jug there.
Hot water in here and just clean it between each cut.
Yep.
And then you get a really nice sort of clean cut out of it. Big piece?
Oh.
Big piece.
Yeah, go for it. You know me very well, don't you? Oh, look at that. That's a lovely, lovely cake. And there's so much chocolate in there, so you can see it melting on the knife. But don't, I'll eat the paper as well.
Leave the paper behind.
I'll be fine, I'll eat that.
There we go. And then...
Is that a Swiss big slice? Because in Australia, we have them, like monsters, but that's...
Well, this is your slice, this is mine.
Okay, now I can have a taste of that. Just go straight through the top there.
Absolutely.
It's so dense and moist.
Caramel with sort of big, bitter kind of notes as well. Rich chocolate.
It's really good. And you know what? You don't need a lot of it. It is really, really rich. Beautiful and smooth, and the bitterness is there as well. That's fantastic. That is outstanding. Thomas, it's an absolute pleasure having you here. I hope you come back many, many more times because what you make is outstanding. Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure.